How we doing, folks out there in internet land and YouTube world? This is Hurricane Holly, aka your favorite Holly Be Good. As promised, here is the video regarding health and wellness about poker. And I really want to focus this channel not just on playing, but how to make everybody play better and improve win rate. And I think a lot of that has to do with how we treat our bodies and how we approach the game. Are we going to do what it takes off table in order to make ourselves better, you know, in the pits and on the table? So I'm going to give you a list of 5 things that you can work on that will improve your health and thereby improve your game. Now, the 5th reason that we are all in a bind is blue light. Okay, you know, poker is always played indoors and it's always played under some sort of electronic light, and that light is absolutely horrible for our circadian rhythm, for just many processes in the body. And anyways, it's just terrible. A lot of you know that you see me wearing these orange glasses all the time. I pretty much wear those anytime I play. And what that does is it kind of helps your brain relax. Now, you're going to ask, Holly, you're not a doctor. Of course I'm not a doctor. But by the same token, I had to really run down the rabbit hole as far as getting my health squared away. So if you'd like a source on where to look up blue light information and how it impacts the body and how it impacts your mental acuity and all the things that go with that, look up Dr. Jack Kruse, spelled K-R-U-S-E, and I'll put links in the description on how to get to some of these videos and whatnot that I studied. And literally, guys, I have spent countless hours either during workout sessions or while I was playing at the table and trying to learn all I could about this. The second thing I want to talk about is EMF. EMF stands for electromagnetic frequency. When you go in and sit at a poker table or you go into a poker room or a casino, we are bombarded by EMF signals, and whether that is from everybody having a phone at the table to the Wi-Fi that's going throughout the casino, we're just bombarded by it, and that is horrible. And again, I would refer you to Dr. Jack Kruse, and he can explain how all of that ties together. The third thing is poor nutrition. Now, I can speak a good bit about this, and when it comes to my personal story is I had a really big health scare, crisis, whatever you want to call it, about 3 years ago. And this is kind of what motivated and prompted me to learn all this stuff. Now, I chose the carnivore path, and carnivore is, in my opinion, and based upon all my study and research, I got the quickest results, number one. But number two, I just feel so much better than I used to. The second thing is dopamine and cortisol. You know, every poker hand makes somebody happy and somebody sad, and your body generates a hormone called dopamine every time you win a pot. It also, you know, whenever you're looking at your cards, you open it up and see pocket aces, or you see kings or ace king or something cool, you get a little hit of dopamine. The other thing is, the downside of that is, you know, let's say that you miss the flop. Well, you're going to get a cortisol spike whenever that happens. And all of this back and forth and up and down is really quite hard on your immune system. It's hard on your liver. It's hard on your blood glucose. It's hard on your heart. It's really, you know, you're constantly putting your body under stress, and you know, stress is really a terrible, terrible thing when it comes to just your overall health. The last thing that I want to talk about is how much we sit. Sitting is absolutely the new smoking, and there's tons of videos out there, and you can look up various doctors and all that good stuff, and these doctors, can walk you through the hows and the why of it. But my goal in this channel is to kind of start providing a map. Some of you may want to follow exactly as I've done it. Some of you may just want to pick up one or two things, and either of which are fine. Anything you do to better your health will, translate into playing better, and that translates into making more money. Now, having said that, let's start at number 5, blue light. Blue light is absolutely devastating, and all of us are in some way, shape, or form degenerate gamblers. So we're either playing on our phone, or as we go to a casino, we're sitting there mesmerized by a slot machine. The engineers of these machines know that the human psyche is affected by the dopamine that's released when your body is looking at the blue light. And, ways to correct this are obviously wearing the blue light blocking sunglasses. You can get them on Amazon. They're about $40, so they're cheap. That's a really easy fix. As far as the EMF goes, let's talk about that one, because these two are kind of, they run together a little bit. When you look around every poker room, whether it's tournament play, cash play, whatever, you see a lot of people wearing headphones. Most of those headphones are Bluetooth. Some are plug-in, but most of them are Bluetooth. And not to say that one is exponentially better than the other, but that Bluetooth unit has a battery, and it's right up next to your head. And if you look at the instances of all the glioblastoma, brain cancers, and all that, again, it's kind of one of those things where, there's nobody going to come out and say, this causes cancer. I don't know, they might at some point, but they don't right now. And obviously I'm not a doctor, so I can't say with certainty that it does. But by the same token, this is one of those situations where I have a reasonable, good feeling that probably is contributing to some of the problems that we as a society have, and especially as poker players, because of all the other things that are on the list. So if we can start chipping away at some of these things, I think it would be beneficial and it would be helpful. Now, let's move to nutrition. As all of you know, I've kind of made it a point to say, that I chose the carnivore route, and I'll tell you first and foremost why I chose the carnivore route. Is number one, I was on some pharmaceuticals for my whole life that just basically did a number on my liver, and I was insulin resistant to the max. You can add to that my lifestyle. I ate a really high carbohydrate diet. I drank a lot. Drank beer, drank whiskey, you name it. Just in general, I was assaulting my liver. And then you add the pharmaceutical to it. My body had no way to process, the glucose in my bloodstream or any of that. So carnivore, when you do that, is you're basically eliminating carbohydrate from your diet. Now, a lot of people say, what the hell's a carbohydrate? Well, a carbohydrate, we probably end up drinking more carbohydrate than we eat. And that comes from when we get the fancy coffees at Starbucks, that comes from sodas, that comes from fruit juice that we're told is healthy. I mean, all of these things are high intensity carbohydrate. Now, throw on top of that the processed foods that we all love so dearly, like the crunchy potato chips. Those are probably some of the worst because they're also fried in some sort of a seed oil. And seed oils that we'll get into all these things on this channel. This is, again, just kind of an introduction to all of that. Now, going through the nutritional list, I did what is called a hard reset, and I wouldn't 100% recommend that for everybody because it is terrible. You feel like crap. I mean, I can't begin to say all of the things. But I will caveat it by saying that I didn't have somebody like me show me how to do it. And, again, I've spent countless hours scouring over all the carnivore influencers, and that includes Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Anthony Chafee. These are MDs that have a lot of good quality content out there that, I can at least point you in the right direction. You can do the homework yourself, or you can just kind of take my word for it. I am down a little over 70 pounds, but the most rewarding thing of this whole journey has been to have my blood glucose never gets over about 125, 130, and it stays somewhere between 70 and 90, pretty much all day. And that is the sign of a metabolically healthy person. And none of us really have been educated that those two kind of tie together. Everybody always thinks that, as I get older, my metabolism slows down. No, that is the net effect, but there's a lot of things that you can do about it, and keep that youthful metabolism going. Now, let's get to poker specifically. Dopamine and cortisol, and I alluded to this in the first part of the video about how dopamine and cortisol affect the body. Well, cortisol has been associated, correlated, whatever the hell the right word is, with a lot of heart disease. And if you look around the poker room that you're playing in, how many people have we lost that just seem weird? They were young in their 40s or early 50s and just boom, gone from a heart attack. Well, all of that ties back to the metabolism. And if you drive it specifically down to the dopamine and cortisol response, is all of these kind of cycle back into your sleep patterns too. And as poker players, sometimes we're stuck in a session and we feel like we got to stay and we play 12, 14, 16 hours. And that's probably the worst thing in the world that we can do as far as our health goes. And then let's get to sitting. Sitting is absolutely like sitting there smoking, 2 packs of Cowboy Killers a day. And a lot of you hear my voice and whatnot, and yes, it's certainly gravelly and all kinds of other good stuff. But no, I was not a smoker prior to this. And anyways, I've just got one of those weird voices that is different than everybody else. But back to sitting, even within sessions, there's things that we can do about it. We can get up and go to the restroom. We can stand up and put some, pressure on our legs. There are lots of things that we can do as poker players to really kind of tighten down how we play. And if you look at the best athletes in the world, and I consider poker players athletes, it is a grind to sit through a 12 or 14 hour poker session, whether you're playing tournament or cash. You're constantly feeling the thrill of victory and constantly feeling the agony of defeat. All of that is stress related. So when you can get up and you can move around and bend your knees, bend your legs, walk to the restroom and back, there's just a ton of things that we can do to kind of help correct all this stuff. These are all things that will, if you start doing them and you get on a regular basis, that will help you. And so anyway, I'm going to close this video for now, and I want to thank y'all for listening. If you like what you see and you want some more content about it, please hit the like and subscribe button. YouTube really does a number on the algorithm and whatnot, and let's get this promoted. And really and truly, I would love to work with anybody. So hit me in the DMs or leave a comment on this video if you want some more specific instruction. I'm going to have 5 or 6 of these videos that come out in the near future, and I'm going to really dial in on each individual component. And again, this is really just an overview of kind of how I got where I got. And hopefully I can help you improve your health and thereby, hopefully improve your win rate too. So with that, I just want to say thank you very much for watching and tuning into my channel. And again, hit me in the DMs if there's anything I can do to help you. Thanks. See you later.